Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Sankam Harkumar, registration number 19MS1051. Today, my topic is stepwise planning. In that, planning is most difficult process in the project management, and the framework described is called the stepwise method to help distinguish it from other methods. And first we have to select a project and identify project scope and objectives, identify objectives and practical measures of the effectiveness of meeting those objectives, and establish a project authority and stakeholders analysis. Identify all stakeholders in the project and their interests, and modify objectives in the light of stakeholder analysis. Establish methods of communication with all parties. Communication with all parties. Identify project infrastructure. Identify installation standard and procedures, and identify project team organization. Analysis project characteristics. Distinguish the project as either objectives as product driven. Analyze other project characteristics. Identify high level projects risks. Take into account use requirement considering implementation. Select development methodology and life cycle approach. Review over resources estimates, and uh, and identify project and products and activities. Identify and describe project products and document generic product flows and recognize product instances, and produce ideal activity networks, and modify the ideal to take into account need for stages and checkpoints, and estimate efforts for each activity, carrying out bottom and up its estimates. Visualize it carefully between efforts and allocated time, and revise plan to create on honorable activities. Break up very long activities into a series of smaller ones, and bundle up very short activities. And the seventh one is the identify activity risk, and identify and quantify activity basic risks and damage if risk occurs, likelihood of risk occurs, and plan risk reduction and contingency measures. Risk reduction activity to stop risk occurring. Contin- Contingency action if risk does occur. Adjust overall plans and estimates to take accounts of risks. To take accounts of risk, and allocate resources. Identify and allocate resources, and revise plans and estimates to take into account resources constraints, and review and publicize plans, and review quality aspects of the project plan and documenters plans and obtain agreement, and executing plan lower levels of planning. Executing and lower level of planning, and executing and we have to lower level of planning, and project planning is a part of project management which relates to use of visuals such as a Gantt charts to plan and subsequently report progress within the project environment. Project planning can be done manually or by the use of project management software. And initially, the scope is defined and the appropriate methods for completing the project and are determined, and the following the steps during following the step and the durations for various tasks necessary to complete the work are listened and grouped into a work breakdown structure. Project planning is often used to organize the different areas of projects, including project plans, workloads, and the management of teams and individuals, and the logical dependencies between tasks are defined using an activity network diagram that enables identification of the critical path. And project plan is inherently uncertain as it must be done before the project is actually started. Therefore, the project duration of the tasks is often estimated and through a weight average of the optimistic normal and pessimistic cases. uh, the critical chain methods adds buffers in the planning to anticipate potential delays in the project execution. Our float or slack time in the schedule can be calculated using project management software. This is then the necessary resources can be estimated and the cost for each activity can be allocated to each resources, giving the total project cost. At this stage, the project schedule may optimize it to achieve the appropriate balance between the resources uses and the use of project duration to comply with the project objectives. Once established and agreed, the project schedule becomes what is known as the baseline schedule. Progress will be measured against the baseline schedule throughout the life of the project. Analyzing progress compressed to the baseline schedule is known as and the input project planning phase includes the project characters and the concept of proposal. The outputs of the project planning phase includes the project requirements, the project schedule, and the project management plan. Thank you.